After seeing David Swartz's most recent interview, many are stating that Ripple has fallen short of their goal of changing the payment architecture for the next financial system. In this video, I'll play the much-discussed interview with David Swartz and share my thoughts on whether or not he truly stated that Ripple hasn't been able to revolutionize the payment infrastructure. Guys, it's really crucial that you stay for the entire event. Let's get straight into the video, and just so you know, David Swartz was interviewed that day. He simply wandered into a Twitter chat room and started answering questions about XRP and Ripple. Now, since this is the clip that a lot of people are talking about right now and that I think is really misconstruing, I want to give you the complete interview where David Swartz specifically discussed payments and Ripple. In order for you all to understand exactly what we're talking about, let me play you the video first. After that, I'll explain whether or not David Swartz was genuinely claiming that Ripple has failed at making payments.
We're big believers in payments. We're not going to stop. We're not going to stop doing payments. That's not going to happen. However, I think these other use cases are extremely important, and I think you're going to see us producing. We're very interested in real world asset tokenization. We're very interested in an ecosystem of multiple chains with asset portability across chains. So you can have chains that can provide smart contract capability. You can have greater throughput. You can have chains that have data storage for NFTs without having to try to build one chain that's good for all purposes. So I think the answer is yes to everything except like reducing our emphasis on payments. I don't think you're going to see that from us, but I think you will see us looking into other use cases, metaverse use cases, NFT use cases. I think we're going to have to broaden. I think the next big bet for us is probably a sort of multi-chain ecosystem, starting with the EVM compatible chain, which will be nice because currently, like if you're in the XRP ecosystem, we basically just don't have a smart contract solution. And so having one that's industry standard will make it easier. Like you want to hire people to build, hiring people who know EVM, is very easy. So I think you're going to see us placing other bets and encouraging growth in other parts of the ecosystem. I think the answer is we haven't gotten the traction we wanted just from payments. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't keep trying, but it also means that we have to be broader. Way back in 2015, when Ripple decided to focus on payments, our thinking was that everything else could be done by everybody else. But if we were going to get institutional payments in the cryptocurrency space, someone was going to have to build products that were regulatory compliant, that were well supported, that could withstand third-party audits. It was to have to be something that was done by a company. It couldn't happen organically. So we focused on institutional payments. But we're a lot bigger than now than we were in 2015. We have a lot more resources. We have a lot more employees. We have a lot more technology, and we can do way more than one thing at a time. And so I think you're going to. This is the fight I always used to have with Stephen Thomas, the former CTO, was, okay, we can do more than one thing, but can we do 7 things? Can we do 10 things? Can we do 3 things? I think you're going to see us increasing the number of things that we're doing and offering a sort of ecosystem of tools that that will support all of those different use cases. Metaverse use cases, I'm VR use cases, I'm not completely sold on yet. AI, I'm kind of, I think that's definitely going to be something, but the question is what, and I don't think we know what yet. So the other thing that's a little challenging is to decide when is too early and when is too late. I think with NFTs, like Ripple decided that we cared about NFTs a little bit too late. And I think maybe with CBDCs, we may have decided a little bit too early. And so I think it's going to take some process of deciding how hard we want to commit. Like if we decided we wanted to make a major commitment to metaverse use cases, I'm not even sure what that would look like right now. Like I'm sure there's plenty of people who would love to tell me like what they think the metaverse use cases are, but it's very hard. It's hard to know what's right. And so you have to sort of calibrate. You can't wait until somebody else makes $1 billion in a field. That's basically what we did with NFTs. We're like, we don't think NFTs are a thing. We wait and we're like, oh shoot, somebody just made $1 billion in the NFT space. We probably should pay attention to it. And obviously that's a little bit too late. But if you jump on too early, then you're following every fad, and that's very stressful for engineering teams to spend months building something like, oh, actually that turns out that's not a thing, and then tell them to, there's nothing worse for an engineer when they put their heart and soul into a project and then like that project doesn't become a thing. So calibrating is challenging.
David Swartz's statement that Ripple hasn't gained the traction they anticipated in payments is, I believe, the key quote from this interview that many are taking too literally. Now, I believe that a lot of people have a really incorrect understanding of how David presented this. It's important to realize that David is essentially the target of an SEC lawsuit. David's intentions to revolutionize the payment mechanism in the financial system have been the subject of an ongoing lawsuit. It is practically impossible for American banks to use Ripple's goods. Out of these are things that he most likely never imagined occurring. David, do you see this revolutionary invention that can instantly transport money anywhere on the globe for pennies on the dollar? After all, he was involved in the design of the XRP ledger. He most likely believed that this product would be embraced in a matter of years by every big bank on the planet. I can completely understand his viewpoint that this has proven to be far more difficult than he had imagined. David Swartz is not a builder or developer who could have ever anticipated the SEC lawsuit. He never would have guessed that US financial institutions would be effectively shut out of the XRP market. All of these are things he has experienced, and Ripple had this vision from the beginning. Thus, Ripple has to overcome several obstacles. Does this imply that Ripple isn't using XRP to make payments right now? Not at all, and he makes it quite evident that this is still occurring quickly. Through its ODL statistics, we are able to observe that Ripple's ODL product is expanding by hundreds of % annually. Customers are paying with XRP in greater and greater numbers. Has XRP's payment system failed? Not at all. Furthermore, I believe that when David Swartz discusses Ripple's future ambitions and other initiatives, some individuals are misinterpreting this portion of the conversation. Since its founding, Ripple has grown significantly. They employ a great deal more people. They are no longer required to have intense concentration on just one item. Let's be honest, making payments using crypto is easy. I'm able to make cryptocurrency payments, right? You can receive XRP from me. I don't require Ripple for that. In order to achieve widespread adoption in the financial industry, Ripple must begin developing new solutions that these institutions will require in the future. Tokenization, custody, various debt and leverage products, various staking methods, and various lending methods are some examples. Financial institutions rely on these various elements, all of which are replicable on the blockchain. David Swartz is attempting to convey to us that we have developed an excellent payment product. There is nothing like this payment product available on the market right now. However, financial institutions simply aren't able to implement it at the rate that we believe they should, for a variety of reasons. That is unimportant. They still have the option to embrace it later. However, we might as well create more products in the interim that they can utilize to support Ripple's offerings and assist onboarding users onto the XRP ledger more quickly. I see all of this as bullish news. More and more knowledgeable users will come to the XRP ledger as a result of Ripple's ability to provide a wider range of products in order to onboard more institutions and a larger client base. Do I believe that David Swartz gave a poor or unfavorable interview? Not at all. He's simply telling us the truth about what's going on. And folks, it doesn't really matter to me. I believe we recently emerged from a bear market. Since it was a bad market, institutional adoption was probably slow throughout the last few years. To me, Ripple remains the best firm in the cryptocurrency space. XRP is in a great position to rule the cryptocurrency landscape going forward. And as time passes and I gain more knowledge about this technology, I am more convinced than ever that it will play a key role in our financial system in the future. Our financial system will depend heavily on these neutral, centralized protocols and pools of liquidity that anybody can access, use, and leverage to transfer value from point A to point B. To ensure the uptake of this technology, Ripple is collaborating with the players. With its technology, the XRP is well positioned to take advantage of this acceptance. I don't see any changes. All David Swartz is saying is that Ripple is headed toward greater and better things. While payments will always be important, those products are made. It's time to start developing new products in order to integrate new organizations. In any case, I want to thank all of you for coming. I hoped this update was enjoyable. Please remember to like and subscribe if you did.